Firstly, before I start speaking, let me identify the setting. Instead of an open commons area like this type of tribute or introduction would typically be presented at a formal event, in a ballroom or a theater. With that known, I'll go ahead and get going. She's been called Congressional Barbie, Mama Grizzly, a made for Fox News star. In today's toxic political environment, it's hard out there for a conservative woman. Our sole representative in the House of Representatives, Congresswoman Kristi Noem, has become well aware of this fact. But she's persevered. From a rough beginning of her adult life, Noem has risen above and become the outspoken voice of South Dakota in Congress. With that, it's only just that we take a few minutes to reflect on Congresswoman Noem's path to power and her proper usage of it. Some would say her life started out well. Kristi Noem grew up on a farm in rural Hamlin County, South Dakota. She took part in rodeo queen events and was selected as the South Dakota State Snow Queen. She graduated from Hamlin High School and enrolled at Northern State University. At 20, she married her husband Byron. Her life was on course. Everything was going well. But at 22, her life took a major twist, with her father being tragically killed in a farm accident. This left the family in dire need of leadership in both its operations and its finances, recently disturbed by the new estate tax. This tough situation and experience with the estate tax drove Kristi Noem to become politically outspoken and involved in her community. At first, she was involved in the local level and agricultural organizations with her town, but was approached to run for the legislature in 2006, when she came in first with 39% of the vote. She was reelected in 2008 with 41% of the vote. While serving in the state legislature, Noem was outspoken and well-reputed, serving in the State's Affairs Committee and the Taxation Committee. She gained in fame within the state legislature for publicly calling out a state senator for opposing the construction of an Indian casino when he had a blatant conflict of interest. This established her as a person of integrity. Paired with her strong reputation in the state legislature, a large group encouraged Kristi Noem to run against Democratic Congresswoman Stephanie Herseth-Sandlin, an insanely popular Blue Dog Democrat who seemed undefeatable in South Dakota. So Noem filed, she ran, and she won the GOP primary against Secretary of State Chris Nelson and Senators Blake Kern. From there, in the general election, after a long and brutal campaign, Kristi Noem defeated Stephanie Herseth-Sandlin, gaining 48% of the vote to Stephanie Herseth-Sandlin's 45%. She had just unseated an incumbent, and an insanely popular one at that, which caused a major stir within the South Dakota political community and the national political community. Upon arriving in D.C., Representative Noem has been more than willing to be outspoken as South Dakota's sole voice in the U.S. House of Representatives by bringing her South Dakota work ethic to the floor of the House. Her work ethic has made her distinguished in her first 2 terms as a congresswoman. Presently, Noem serves on the House Ways and Means Committee, which oversees all taxation, trade, and federal economic policies. The House Ways and Means Committee is easily the most powerful committee in the whole Congress. An appointment to it is a strong sign you are one of the hardest working individuals in the Congress. Congresswoman Noem's efforts and outspoken nature have been met with much acclaim, to the point that she has been elected and appointed to numerous leadership positions. In 2011, Noem was elected to serve as one of 2 freshman representatives to the House Republican leadership. In 2012, Noem was named as one of the 12 regional directors for the 2012 Republican Congressional Committee campaign system. And in 2013, Noem was named one of the 15 most influential women in the Republican Party nationwide. Now, with all of that said, it's clear that Congresswoman Kristi Noem does a great job representing the state of South Dakota in the House of Representatives. She has risen from being a typical popular teenage girl to tackling a complete family crisis, to being a community leader, to being elected to the state legislature, and finally being elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, all while being a mother and an active landowner. She has shown that she has a work ethic that exemplifies the hardworking nature of South Dakotans, and that she is a leader in nearly every regard of her life. Agree or disagree with her, South Dakota is blessed to be represented by Congresswoman Kristi Noem.